Yeah, for those online, you missed the home baked goods, just saying. Um, so we'll just kind of maybe go around the room and introduce ourselves and then chat. Just be sure and put your stuff in the chat. So I'm Nikki DeLong. I am the YAC chair. I am the program manager for the transitional housing program within Olive Crest.
And my name is Greg Snow. I'm the vice chair for COC.
Operating in the Empower Youth building out in Hemet. Passing on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Caroline Quintos. I am the housing navigator with the Thrive Independent Living Program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brandy Rodriguez. I am the community advocacy coordinator for the SoCal region with California Youth Connection.
Yep. And hello, everyone. This is Marielle, or you all probably know me as Mar, and I'm the youth programs lead with the Continuum of Care.
Good morning, everyone. Gershom Hiron here. I am the homeless youth coordinator for the Riverside County Continuum of Care. I'm happy to be here.
Good morning, everyone. This is Savannah Brown. I am the chair of the Youth Action Board. Glad to be here.
Okay, thank you. So the next thing that we need to do is approve the minutes from October. So if there's anybody online, you can type in to make a motion to approve the minutes as they were submitted online or in person. We can just make a motion. Okay.
And then we have a second.
Oh, hey, Sonia. Okay. So are there any nays to approving those? Okay, sounds good. So the next thing we had is our calendar. So already planning for 2025, it's amongst us. So because we do not meet in December, correct? So there will be no December meeting. The next time we meet will be January 30th. So screenshot this, take a picture. This is going to be the meetings for 2025.
I have a question. When we were talking previously, we had talked about a hybrid schedule and the dates on that.
Mm-hmm.
She don't have it. There's some.
Oh. I just don't want to hold it.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was just bringing up the question about the schedule for the 2025 meeting calendar at choosing the hybrid dates for that. And then potentially the locations that we would do that. We could have a discussion about that.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. Gershom here. So I will be sending out a poll through Google Forms. I'll be sending it out to our distribution list, and then I'll kind of just have folks vote. I'm going to do my best with identifying some agencies that are more centralized, because I know it is, I just want to make it as accessible as possible for our folks who are maybe out in the desert or just like, more out west. So we definitely want to get, somewhere in the middle to meet. So I'll be sending that out sometime at the beginning of next week. And then, once that is said and done, I'll be more than happy to share the results with you guys.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then we need an approval for these dates for the meetings, correct? So if anybody wants to make a motion that we approve these be the dates, and then we'll backtrack around after the survey to determine the location. So we just need a motion to approve the calendar as submitted. Okay, a second?
And then we have Sonia Lamas making second.
Okay, and any nays?
No.
Okay, so calendar is approved. So the next thing is public comments. I do know we did have one program submit for public comments, so we will defer to Oak Grove.
Hi, everyone. Again, this is Caroline Quintos, Housing Navigator with Thrive ILP. I just wanted to make an announcement that Thrive ILP Q1 2025 will begin on January 6th, and the calendar is now available. And Oak Grove Thrive ILP, along with DPSS, will be hosting foster family dinner workshops. One being on, let me say that they will be about human trafficking awareness and prevention. The first will be held Wednesday, December 4th. Check-in at 4:30, workshop from 5 to 7, and it'll be in Marietta. There will be dinner, raffle prizes, and special guest speakers. And we do a separate talk for care providers and youth ages 13 plus. And unlike Thrive ILP workshops, you do not need to have an ILP referral as long as you are foster youth 13 plus. And then the second one, same workshop, will be Tuesday, December 17th in Moreno Valley. Okay.
Do they have to be foster parents or can general public attend as well?
It's for foster youth and their care providers.
Okay. Thank you. Were there any more public comments that were submitted, Gershom? Okay. So the next thing we have is old business, talking about the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program, YHDP updates, and that is Mar.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Perfect. Okay. So today's update is primarily on the implementation timeline. And actually, if there's any new folks online, I know we have some in person. YHDP stands for the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program. And this is federal funding from the Department of Housing Urban Development. And we were awarded $7.4 million as a county last year. And since we were awarded, we've been in the planning phases. So that has been going on since January of this year. And our CCP, or Coordinated Community Plan, was approved by HUD in May, or actually I want to say June of this year. So since then, we've RFP'd, we've had agencies applied, and we narrowed it down to 7 projects. And now we're in the agreement phase for that. So it has been pushed back. Initially, we wanted subrecipient agreements to be done by the end of November, but due to the holiday, and then also, if you can see on the slide, we have written standards, policies, and procedures. That's something that HUD has recommended that we finalize alongside working with the agreement. So our manpower has kind of just been split into 2 for that. So we're hoping that by the end of December, the agreements will be finalized. So, so I have 2, the second row under December 2024, we have finalized subrecipient grant agreements. And then we also at the same time want to have on-site meetings. So I don't know if any of my YHDP subrecipients are online, but I will be sending an email by the end of this week to reach out so that our staff can get to know each other, get a better grasp of how your services work on site, and then how YHDP will fit into all of that. And then hopefully beginning next year, we're gonna have the point in time count, and I'm gonna talk about more of that later in this meeting on how you all can get involved. So we're gonna talk about that. And then also in January, we have our trainings. So we'll be going over the contracts, the different expectations on where the program needs to be, new hire and onboarding, and then also the fiscal process overview. And then March is kind of our buffer period for if anything else comes up, we have this time to make sure that the projects are fully stood up, or they have a strong foundation before they're fully stood up. And then April 1st is our target goal for when we want them to be fully up and operating. And this is just the implementation phase. So YHDP, we had a 30-month performance period, and the first 6 months are to stand them up, and then the following 2 years is for the actual project performance. And so that's my update. I'm not sure if there are any questions. None? All right. And then if there are that come up later, feel free to email me at msarmiento@rivco.org.
Okay, thank you. So the next item is under new business. We're going to have a presentation from Operation Safe House. Is Julie online and ready?
I am online. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you,
Okay,
Julie.
just checking. Technology is fun, isn't it? Thanks for having me. Okay, so I'm here to talk about Operation Safe House. Operation Safe House is an emergency shelter and transitional living program for runaway, homeless, and at-risk youth between the ages of 11 and 24. Next slide. So we were established in 1988 in the city of Riverside.
We lost you. Are you still there? She must be experiencing some technical difficulties. Would you just like to move forward and maybe we can come back to Julie?
Yeah, yes,
Awesome.
when she gets back online, we'll come back in.
Yes.
And Gershom, you're the next item on the agenda, talking about the 2025 pit count.
Perfect. All right. Good morning, everyone. So for those of you who may just be joining us for the first time, so we have our pit count scheduled for January 22nd. And we will initiate that at 6 a.m. for that day. And so for the pit count this upcoming year, we really want to focus on the More Than a Count initiative. And so it will be a service-based count. And, for the day of the count, we really want to emphasize on getting youth connected to housing. We really want to identify all of our agencies that have shelter beds available throughout all 5 districts of our county. And so, as I mentioned, it is going to be a service-based count. So, your agency is going to play a central role over the count. And we would really want for your agency organization to act as a main site for the count as well, where we can have youth access your services, and where they would be allowed to get surveyed as well. And this approach would really help us capture those who might not be reached during the general count. Such as like youth who happen to stay in like less visible areas and may not be out in the public. So we really would like to emphasize that. And then we also want to emphasize that we will be having trainings soon. So this is going to be a great opportunity for your staff or for any volunteers who wish to participate with your organization or agency. They would be getting trained. They would get all the training possible, and then I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Mar, who's going to explain a little bit more about the pit count for 2025.
Awesome. Thank you, Gershom. For folks in person, I made a little list of ways to be involved in the pit count as an agency. I'm not sure if folks can see it online, but I'll make sure to send out an email. This way, right in front of you. I don't want to block y'all though. Here, let me take a seat. Yeah.
You got the show.
Okay. I'll send it out in email too, so that people have it in writing on their end. Alrighty. So for our youth agencies, we have 4 different ways for y'all to take part in the point in time count in January. So the first way would be to volunteer. You can have your staff volunteer individually to get training and then be a surveyor or counter the day of the count. And that'll be on January 22nd. As a volunteer, so on my list in red, I have tasks for each one, so how you can get involved. you'll need to be trained and, well, you need to be registered and then trained. So to do that, just email coc@ribco.org. And as a volunteer, you'll be showing up on January 22nd at a deployment site. You'll be checking in by 5 a.m. and then the count starts at 6 a.m. You'll have a deployment site leader, which is typically a county staff that'll tell you what areas you need to cover. And then the count goes on until, Gresham, I want to say 9 a.m. Yeah, so 9 a.m. or until you have covered your entire area. So that's the first way. And then the second way we have is to be part of the service-based count portion of the pit count, and that's a week long. So this is a little more stationary. So as an agency at your facility, if you have folks coming in, you'll either have trained staff or volunteers on the day of the count survey anyone that comes in who may be experiencing homelessness. And then the third way is, as Gershom mentioned, we're having a More Than a Count initiative. We're having it for veterans and our youth population specifically. So for this, as agencies, if you have beds and would want to take part, you can set aside beds for the week of the count so that if we count a youth who wants to be housed, we can direct them directly to you to get them off the streets. And so then, and for that, you're going to want to email cocyouth@ribco.org, and the same for the service-based count. Then the fourth way to be involved is being a deployment site. This one is only for the day of the count, January 22nd. You'll be basically the starting point and end point for the volunteers. So as I mentioned for the first way, to be a volunteer, you'd be going to the deployment site. So if you want your agency to be that stationary point where volunteers will meet up, plan, and then at the end come back, that you can do that as well. And you're gonna have to email COC Youth. Are there any questions? I feel like I breezed through that. Any online? Oh, hi. No. No.
I have a question
Oh,
real quick. This is Sonia. Hi, everybody.
hello.
Is the California Family Life Center, are you, Greg, are you the I'm sorry, not the are you the lead agency again this year?
That's still to be determined because I will
I'm
not
so
be
sorry.
available for that week. So I have other staff that's going to be fulfilling the roles that we had done in the past. So
Gotcha.
that's something that I need to discuss with the staff that's going to be doing that, along with the COC, as to whether it will be a deployment site. We are going to definitely assist in various capacities because we have a lot of youth that want to get out in the community and assist with the counting itself. And again, if you know anything about it, the experiences in a point in time count, if they look at someone my age, they're usually not apt to actually want to answer some of the questions in the survey. So it's always been beneficial for us to have youth with us when we're conducting the count. But as in terms of being a deployment site and then the More Than a Count, again, because that's going to be something that's lasting all week long, not just one day. To some capacity, yes, CFLC, along with our other two sites in Rubidoux and Lake Elsinore, they'll be assisting in some form or fashion. There's no doubt.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the youth count, doesn't it start later in the day? No.
So our goal was to start a little bit later, but instead we're just gonna, conduct it all at the same time, along with the general count. Yeah. Any other questions from folks online or? Yeah.
Yes, hi Grisham. This is Connie Henriquez with RUHS Public Health. How are you? So I just had a quick question in regards to the youth point in time count. Did you guys want to have were you able to have vendors at these different locations like you did a couple years ago? Or did you guys want vendors like us to be able to be at the different location sites to hand out resources or to be there for resource, things like that?
Hi there, this is Mar. So that was I believe you're talking about the Come and Be Connected events that we held in the 2023 count. Unfortunately, we won't be doing that this year. However, if you do take part in the service-based count or the More Than a Count initiative, you can have vendors come and be ready on site so that if you do receive, so if you have set aside beds and you do receive a youth, they can get connected immediately on site. But it's not something that we'll be organizing on a county level. I hope that answers your question.
So do we just contact the COC and email them if we want to be a part of those?
Yes, yes. And then also just to clarify, you can take part in all 4 of these if you'd like. So if you want to be a volunteer, reach out to cocrivco.org. And then if you want to be part of the service-based count, more than a count initiative, or be a deployment site, please email cocyouth@rivco.org.
cocyouth@rivco.org. Can you guys put that in the chat as well?
Yes,
Thanks so much.
it's in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you
Awesome.
guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Maybe we could send out a separate email with kind of like more descriptive for everybody who's not here or whatever, has more
Definitely.
questions about what it would look like, and then the link to click on to reply to whoever.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you, Nikki. Any other questions from our online folks? Cool. And then we do have Julie Hill back online, so we can move forward with her presentation. Julie, are you ready?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm so sorry. Apparently, when you're plugged into 2 screens, 1 screen dies. So I've unplugged from the secondary screen. So go ahead and go back to skip. There we go. So to restart, I apologize for that. Safe House
Julie?
has, yes?
Julie, I hate to interrupt, but we actually, if we go a couple slides back, I think we lost you on this slide. You might have still been going, but we lost you here on this slide.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So Operation Safe House was established by educators in the city of Moreno Valley in 1988. And we opened our first emergency shelter in the city of Riverside in 1990. In 1997, we received the first federal grant to fund a street outreach program throughout Riverside County. And that is to provide services to entrenched street youth 11 through 21. And in 1999, we introduced the National Safe Place Program, which is a program that provides services to youth that are not located directly where our shelters sit. So we partner with the Riverside County Unified School District to provide all youth with information on how to access our shelter if they're not in our area. Next slide. In 2000, we opened the Main Street Transitional Living Program, which was for older homeless youth. It's an 18-month program in downtown Riverside. And in 2008, we were asked to build a new shelter in the desert, which is located in Thousand Palms. In 2010, we co-founded the Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Program with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to provide shelter, housing, case management, counseling, and services for all victims of labor and sexual trafficking. And in 2013, we opened a secondary transitional living program down in Thousand Palms for older homeless youth ages 18 to 24. Next slide. So our core programs are 2 youth emergency shelters for runaway, homeless, and at-risk youth ages 11 through 17. They're in Riverside and Thousand Palms. We have 2 older homeless youth transitional living programs that are 18-month programs located in Riverside and Thousand Palms. And on our Riverside campus, we have a 4-bed emergency shelter for youth 18 through 24. We have a street outreach and safe place program that's countywide. We provide counseling for all youth, individual, group, and family programs, either in our shelter or outside of our shelter programs. And we have mental health intervention programs that we partner with Riverside Behavioral Health. And we provide anti-human trafficking, shelter, and case management for youth 11 through 17. Next slide. Our 2 youth emergency shelters provide 24-hour services. They're 21-day facilities. Youth are offered individual, group, family counseling. We have parenting classes. We have life skills development. We do anger management. All youth that are here attend school on site through our on-site schools here in Riverside. We use Riverside County Office of Education as our teacher, and out in the desert, we partner with Desert Sands Unified School District. Both of them send volunteer teachers so that while youth are here, they can attend school and move their credits back to their home school once they leave. And our main goal here is to provide family reunification into safe and stable environments. It could be back with their family or another, maybe an agency, but what we try to do is circumvent Child Protective Services and just provide a safe place for youth to work out their problems. And then we also provide up to 6 months of aftercare. So once they leave the program, they can continue to come here and attend counseling with their family or by themselves, and referrals to other programs that can assist. Next slide. Our transitional living programs, we have 2. We have the Main Street Transitional Living Program and our Harrison House Transitional Living Program. They both provide 18 months for transitional living, and we have 13 units of permanent supportive housing with no time frame for oldest homeless youth 18 to 24. All youth receive case management, counseling, financial literacy, employment and education assistance, life skills, and other things needed to move on to permanent housing. Next slide. We also, within our Main Street program, have 4 beds of emergency shelter for older homeless youth between the ages of 18 and 24. And that's 30 days of emergency services, case management, and counseling. And we also assist with placement into program, either our program or another program or permanent housing. And if youth are able to stay, they don't have to leave like some programs where they make you go out in the morning and then claim your bed at night. They're able to stay for up to 30 days. Next slide. Our street outreach and safe place program, our street outreach does outreach to youth who are entrenched, ages 11 through 24. We work with youth to build trust and ensure their safety while they're on the streets. We do repeated visits and case management or through phone calling with them. They're provided survival kits that have some clothing, some snacks, some water, hygiene, and other things in there for them while they are on the streets, as long as referrals to other programs and our own in the county that can assist. And our National Safe Place program is located throughout Riverside County. We currently have 250 locations. We partner mostly with parks and recs, libraries. Out in the desert, we work with the McDonald's locations out there, youth opportunity centers, and other locations. And one of the ways we link our agency to outer lying areas is our partnership with the Sunline Bus System and RTA. The little sign that you see on the slide is attached to these buses. And if a youth gets on there and says they want to come to Safe Place or Safe House, they will be transported for free to their local hub or to us. And if they go to the hub, our street outreach or another staff member will go pick them up. Next slide. We also partner with behavioral health. We have 4 different types of mental health counseling. So if you maybe don't need our shelter, we provide intervention services. These 4 mental health programs are located on 47 middle and high school campuses, and they provide different types of length of services and different services for youth and their families if they'd like to attend. They have LGBTQI support groups, and we have Speakers Bureau, which teaches youth how to public speak. We provide stress and your mood counseling for youth between the ages of 16 and 25, which is for stress, depression, and anxiety. We do the CBITS program, which is for trauma. It's a 10-week program which provides individual and group counseling, and seeking safety for transitional age youth 16 through 25, which is coping and support for PTSD, substance abuse treatment, and domestic violence. All of those programs provide a lot of intervention and assist youth in not having to come and stay in our shelters or transitional living programs. Through those programs, we serve about 5,000 youth throughout the county annually. Next slide. In 2010, we found that more than 50% of the youth under the age of 18 coming through our shelters were stating that they had been trafficked, and we approached the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to establish the first Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force here in our county. Originally, when we were established, Safe House and the Sheriff's Department were the only two programs providing any kind of services, and we had a department that provided services to youth as young as 11 and as old as 65. In 2018, the Sheriff's Department branched out and brought in rebirth homes for adults, and we also partner with Barbara Sinatra and other agencies throughout Riverside County now that provide case management and services. Safe House is still the only agency that provides emergency shelter housing and case management for youth under the age of 18. Next slide. And a couple different things that we highlight with our agency is in January, National Anti-Human Trafficking Awareness Month, we usually do some sort of community outreach and forums. And in November is National Runaway Prevention Month, which we're celebrating right now, which has just been changed to Youth Hope Month, which I've not been able to update my slides with. Other things that we like to highlight is becoming volunteers over here, mentoring for our life skills, and becoming donors. So as far as working with the COC, obviously we attend the YAC and we work with the COC. And currently right now in our transitional living program, our permanent supportive housing apartments, which are, we accept vouchers, we accept the FUP voucher, etc. We have 4 vacancies out in the desert. So if any of your agencies have anyone that has a voucher that can pay rent, we do have availability with 4 apartments in the desert, and open to anyone who would like to send anybody out. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Also, just to kind of, I know you said you took the FUP vouchers, FYI, also for those who had questions. Are you still accepting and working with Equus for the rapid rehousing as well?
We don't do rapid rehousing over here. So I've never received anybody from Equus. I mean, it doesn't mean I can't do it. It just means I
Okay.
haven't done it.
I just knew she visited with people out in the desert and they
Yeah.
were talking about that. So I wasn't sure if that was a go or not.
It might be a new partnership that I'm not aware of. So if she visited out there, it could be happening. I most of the time, just for those 4 apartments, it has to have a voucher of some sort. So I don't know if they're still issuing out housing choice. That could be something that's not happening anymore. But I know we have accepted a couple people with the FUP voucher from outside referrals with our community partners.
Hi,
Yes.
Nikki. Hi, Julie. This is Janice. I'm with Equus/Equitable that she was speaking of.
Yeah.
Hi, Janice.
Hi. Yes, we did go out, but we were informed that we are a rapid rehousing, but we were informed that they couldn't be accepted at that time because of the continuation of funds that they would want the participant to have. And so we were informed that we weren't able to refer for that matter.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Did anybody else have questions for Julie at this time?
Do they have any openings in Riverside?
For permanent supportive housing or transitional living?
Transitional?
I believe they do. I think they have like 3 beds, but I don't know if it's boys and girl, how many of each, a boy, girl, or if it's 2 boys, 1 girl, because they're 2-bedroom apartments. So they generally like to partner with somebody. And if you'd like to reach out to them directly, I can put their number in the chat.
Do you have any openings in your permanent supported housing?
In Riverside, we do not.
Okay. And then I also had a question, clarification on the age. You said 18 to 21. Can they still utilize the whole 18 months of your program as long as they come in before their 21st birthday? Let's say they're 20 and a half.
Actually, no, they cannot. The hard cutoff on that is 21, and that's due to our federal funding.
Okay. Were there any other questions? Okay, thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
So the next thing that we have on the list is the agency bed availability update. So we just kind of give this opportunity for everybody who has capacity for beds to please share, because a lot of times we've got numerous people here that are looking. At Olive Crest right now, I only have 1 female vacancy, and that is out in the Coachella Valley, out in the desert. Julie, did you have any other vacancies besides what you already shared?
No, because I'm not real sure of what I know out in the desert, they've got, I believe 6 beds open for transitional living program.
Okay, great. Thank you. Does anybody else have any bed availability that they would like to share at this time?
For Walden, our THP program, we have 12 beds available, and that's in Riverside.
Thank you, Patrick. Do you have any updates on your THP Plus availability?
Right now we are taking applications. There's a bit of a wait list, but and that's only in San Bernardino County.
Yes, I just have
Mhm.
youth that overlap, so.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. Is Michelle on? Okay, did anybody else have any bed availabilities to share? Okay, so the next thing is hearing updates from the Youth Action Board, YAB. And then also though, while we're doing that, we're gonna throw Savannah under the bus. So last night, anybody who attended the Continuum of Care meetings, Savannah received a special award that I'm gonna make her tell you about.
Yes. So I'm very thankful and grateful. And I was awarded Youth Homeless Leader of the Year. I was very surprised. I had no idea. And but I just want to give a big thank you to Monique. I know she is not here anymore with the Youth Action Board or the COC, but without her and without Gershom, thank you, Gershom. Without them, I wouldn't be here in this position that I am. So thank you to them. And without further ado, let's get started with the updates. Alrighty, so for the Youth Action Board, today we have our YAB Friendsgiving. We are having a potluck style Friendsgiving, so we're very excited about that. A few of our YAB members have been attending the Rise Above Defeat workshops. They love it, specifically the Let It Fall workshops. I've attended one of those and I really like it. So those are really good. They also have the the financial literacy and professional development and stuff like that. So that's really good. Community volunteer hours. We'd love to hear about any volunteer hours that you guys have. We're always looking for volunteer hours. So yeah, if you guys want to put anything in the chat, we would love for you guys to do that. And follow us on our YAB Instagram. We are going to be posting soon, posting our introduction Instagram post pretty soon here. And it's just going to be a post about a few of our YAB members. And yeah, so, and then also one more thing. Any youth service provider interested in presenting on youth professional development during our weekly YAB meetings, go ahead and contact Gershom at his email. It's up there on the screen. We love the professional development series, and we're always looking to grow and develop in that in the professional world. So we'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much.
Good job, Savannah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Savannah. So the next on the agenda is the Youth Coordinated Entry System, CES updates from Lucy.
Hi, good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you go on to the next slide, Gershom, please? So these are the numbers for the month prior for October. So during the month of October, there was about 33 youth on the community queue. And within those on the queue, 16 of which were connected to opportunities waiting outcomes. And those that are on the queue, 12 of which scored rapid rehousing scoring, which is 4 to 7, and 21 of which scored PSH, which is 8 plus. So we do have those on the queue, and we will be connecting them as availability, as inventory becomes available. That's what I have.
Okay, thank you. The next thing we have is Sonia Lamos with Lamos Housing Project as our member spotlight. So I know I heard you on, Sonia. If you would like to share, if you're ready, we'd love to hear about what you've got going on.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, or good morning, I should say. Yes. So first of all, I didn't know how prepared I could be for this, so I apologize. I know I sent this presentation last minute to Mr. Gretchen, so thank you for having it. But yeah, I'll just start by introducing us. We were established in 2021, as you can see, and I like to say El Valle de San Jacinto in the San Jacinto Valley. Go ahead, Gretchen. Next slide. We were designed initially for a real estate acquisition, development and redevelopment opportunities. We operate and we are in the process of a acquisition for the benefit of low-income families. Since our establishment, we have taken different initiatives that involve legislation and different advocacy measures to support all housing measures, if I may say, in the affordable and low-income housing space. But while we have built this foundation, we've established a model of being equitable and just being fair to to all. Next. This is kind of how we present ourselves before the community. One of the things I like to say is, we have a for-profit and of course a nonprofit. Some of the performance job descriptions that we perform involved a lot of project management. I work a lot with the local authorities in different areas across Riverside County. So we work with building and safety planning department and get a lot of complex cases where we have code compliance, right? So we help our community, work through those situations and circumstances, and we help them mitigate. So we become the voice behind the counter, if I may say, so that we can walk some of these families through. Go ahead and go to the next slide. I myself, that's me. I'm the founder of the Llamas Housing Project. Since 2021, it's been quite a journey. We've grown to build, a team, and we continue to grow. If you go to the next slide, thank you. Our team. So we have an executive administrator now. This is one of our pillars in our community who's been around for a very long time. I like to say that we support our seniors. So if you guys know San Jacinto Valley, you probably know Kathy and Chuck. They've been around for a very long time. And I've met them through like the Chamber of Commerce, but they've taken a chance on the Llamas Housing Project and have actually jumped on board as volunteers. And support our journey and our vision of where we're headed, and the development that we're seeing. um, you know moving, it's moving fast. Larry Butler is a well-known also community leader in our community whom is involved with various other organizations. He's also heavily involved with the SBX Family Youth and Services, and he runs the fatherhood program, if any of you are familiar. But he's also our community outreach specialist and our boots on the ground. We both live out here in the San Jacinto Valley, actually all of us, and we work closely, helping those that are in more of a crisis need because we're just a phone call away from each other. So we use our collaborating partners to be able to facilitate those needs. Richard Iniguez. Richard Iniguez is a founder of La Cultura, Plaza de la Cultura in LA, that is all about the arts. But he's our grant advisor, and we've been learning a lot from him, as we continue to grow. So we welcomed him on board. I think I misspelled grant, right? Okay, Mr. Anthony Moya. Mr. Anthony Moya is our real estate broker and our mortgage broker, but he's also my personal mentor. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Veronica Hawks actually wears the hat of the executive director for the Greater San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, and she has become now our community outreach person, and just keeping those relationships strong within our communities. Jennifer Venable, she's our attorney of record. She's also an estate planning attorney and works with the Hemet Legal Center, who specializes in real estate law. Saul Romero is an amazing individual who wears the hat of a general B contractor and can facilitate all of our skill set contractors when needed. Jacqueline Angel Quintana, that is actually my daughter, and she has served as our secretary from the beginning and does an amazing job. Jamie Sandoval, our CFO, he is a former resident of here, Hemet, California, but today, along his journey and his growing up in Hemet, they found out that they were of native descendants. So now he lives on the reservation in Pachanga, I'm sorry. And most importantly, since this is the Youth YAC, we have established almost like a student mentee of our own. This summer, needless to say, we had a total of about 6 different students, some that came as volunteers or whatnot, but we were able to kind of mold them a little bit in the processes of what it takes to, build a project. So Alondra Lamas is my daughter, who also serves as a commissioner with SBX. Jimena Canelo, she is a student also at San Jacinto Valley Academy. Vincent Galicia, he's my grandson, okay, but this little guy he can take measurements. He knows how to figure out square footage. He knows how to read the plot map. So that was pretty awesome. Steven, another student here in our backyard, just turned 18 this year. He came in and he was our graphics person and a lot of technical stuff. So it's kind of cool. Larry Jr. Butler, again, outreach specialist, being involved in the space of the student, taking their experiences from the SBX and bringing it now to us and just helping us grow that little space has been an amazing journey. Keep going. Next, I won't be as long, but I just wanted to definitely introduce our staff. When we think about the Llamas Housing Project, we embrace our community, right? It's nuestro pueblo. It's something that we've just started recently as well. But one of the things that we've done is we brought our culture to our community, and we just reached our 3rd year celebration of our annual Dia de los Muertos event, which is a huge impact in our backyard. This year, the project has actually gotten bigger. I think we started with like 600, 500 people. Then the second year was close to like 1,100, 1,200. This year, I think we got close to almost 2,000. But the project has grown bigger than us, and has become a real civic project, and now a stamp in our backyard. This year, we had the honor of having the Aztec dancers come out and bless our event. And we actually moved it to a little bit further north, still on Harbor though, not losing the downtown touch. So that is a project that we are very, very proud of. And I definitely wanted to take the time to introduce it. Um, it's an intimate project. Um, it's a space where our community comes out and shares, the life of those that are no longer with us. In this particular picture, it is from our, I believe, second year, and at least 13 of those photos there belong to our family. So very intimate photo. Thank you. Next. Now, this is how we continue to engage in our community aside from everything else that we do. But this is a proud project that we continue to support hand in hand with workforce development, San Jacinto Chamber as well, the Greater San Jacinto Chamber. Um, all of our collaborating partners, California Family Life Center, big supporter. But this is an opportunity where we get to actually meet our community. And I love attending the job fair because I make it a point to meet everybody that walks in the door, but we get people from all walks of life. But we continue to introduce, participate, assist. It's understanding the complexities that come with that opportunity, and then, knowing how to filter the need. So we take a lot of pride in that. We continue to support it, and we plan to continue to do that as well. Next. So I'm going to back up a little bit just to kind of introduce a little bit of history of some of the stamps that we've established in our community. In June of 2022, we were a big, I want to say we were a big part of establishing an emergency housing ordinance for the city of Hemet. Um, when we received the unanimous vote 5-0, I still say this today, a city of Hemet at its finest, right? We were able to support the Menlo project, which is the establishment of the Pallet Village homes. We did all of the development processes and all the advocacy work that was involved with that, to now having the opportunity to continue to embrace the emergency housing measures in our backyard. So that's like our stamp in our backyard that has allowed others to continue to grow in the space of housing solutions in our community. Next. Let's see here. You can barely see it, but some of the stuff, I think I've already gone over some of the stuff, the Day of the Dead. We did open up an office this year of April. Since then, that office has expanded. We established it as a small navigation center where we continue to help more of the, I guess, the community that doesn't see hope. We have a lot of challenges with second chances in the space of, formerly incarcerated youth, young adults, those that can't see beyond. We have a lot of young families, young couples with children that have been evicted very early on. How do we help those complexities, right? So what we've done is we embrace a space of, it's okay, take a step back. How can we organize, this presentation? How can we advocate for them? Are there programs out there that can financially support? We do wraparound services. However, we don't have the adequate funding, nor have we been in the space of just yet to, really, really apply and have the right structure in place, if I may say, and the right support, right? Everything, it takes a team to build, and definitely, we're doing the work to the best of our abilities, but where we succeed is in knowing what organizations can support those type of opportunities for these families, funding wise, if I may say. So I just wanted to, really bring light to some of the behind the work that goes on in our office with our teams. I did talk about the summer program, and we want to grow that into the summer. A lot of the case management that we do, again, it's an introduction to the other organizations, and just, continuing to follow up but when we get the families or the individuals that come back and want to continue to support us in the space of even just like volunteer work or some of our cleanup projects, you know, it's satisfying. We are growing in the sense of being able to do more programs, but I think our primary focus is how do we create more doors so that we can so that we can continue to facilitate the need. Let's see here. What else can I share on this page? Most recently, we entered into contract with another partner of ours. So soon we will be offering the free appliances through our office. So we'll make it like a hub where people can actually come and finalize their paperwork so that they have that opportunity to, to receive some of those rewards as well. Next. Let's see here. This is a presentation that I've used in the past, so I kind of just went back to it and kind of updated some of the numbers. I think that for some of the stuff that we were looking at, as far as what can we track, was the workforce development, right? The job fairs 1 time per month. How are we making those impacts? I believe last year in 23, we had an impact of 1,120 people that we actually physically served. This year, our goal was 1,500, and year to date, I believe we are shy of that. I think we're right around maybe 1,080 the last I checked. So we average anywhere from 80 to about 120 people per month, and that's how we measure those numbers. Our public service occupation workshops, we started that, having those workshops done through the Llamas Housing Project. And this year we've expanded with other entities that offer financial literacy, such as Chase Bank. Altura has been a great part of that as well. So we've exceeded the number of people we wanted to serve in those workshops. And I believe to date, the participants is at 72 for the year. The point in time count, of course, the COC is preparing for that, and we definitely would, like to continue to be a part of that. We've been able to do a total of 3 community projects. This year, our goal was 2, and we were able to meet both. We have another one scheduled for February, so we'll be releasing a volunteer opportunity for that. And then again, I mentioned the Dia de los Muertos project. It has grown tremendously. Next. Here is the fun stuff. We currently are looking at a grant application that has allowed us to move into the next phase of the application. This particular acquisition is an off-market fourplex in the city of Hemet. I know the investor on this property, and they have made it available to us contingent a grant approval. If and when we are awarded, the goal would be to serve, our young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 and our senior and veterans. This particular project does come with an additional fourplex that would be new construction in East Hemet, which we're working with third-party partners to provide, all the full wraparound services that we'll need. But again, these are stepping stones that are actually coming to light. This is a grant that was an opportunity outside of the continuum of care, and we took a chance, and we did what they call PAC, right? The project application consultation, and we were awarded into the next phase. So I am very, very honored and grateful that we have that opportunity. Whether we get awarded or not, it's a space that we're experiencing and we're growing into. So definitely very proud of that. Another opportunity that we're going to do and we're going to be submitting on is we've never applied for funding with the city of Hemet through the Community Block Development Grant. So we'll be doing that this year. And we're almost finalizing our applications. We're just waiting for some letters of support, et cetera. But just getting a little bit more comfortable in that sense. But we can't be everywhere, and we just do so much. And again, we're limited to our teams. But I definitely wanted to be very transparent of where we are and what we're doing. So next. Oh, sorry. Okay. This here is the expansion, right? And we are currently getting our water meters. They're being reinstalled. We just submit our application to have that reinstalled again. This property has been under our portfolio here for the last 2 years now. We have a tentative plans, because of financials, we haven't been able to submit just yet, but if we are awarded this grant, then we have everything that we need in order to be able to do that. But I wanted you guys to see the actual physical vacant land where our future fourplex will be. Next. one of the things that we were able to accomplish was in the city of Hemet, we have a program called Adopt a Block. And we were able to adopt the Hamilton block, which is a very heavy concentrated area of our communities. This particular area is not as desirable as most would want to probably adopt a block. So we stepped up and we adopted the Hamilton block. The Hamilton block, anything from Latham and Hamilton up to Oakland. And we haven't had a ribbon cutting. We kind of work backwards. We've already done 2 cleanup jobs there. When we do our ribbon cutting, we'll notify the COC if you guys would like to come out and support us, in that. But we're already doing the work. It's not so much about being recognized. It's about, getting it done and allowing the community to know that, we're here for them. And, in this space, we got the actual residents involved of the Green Tree Apartments, which is a beautiful thing. We had families. We did a barbecue thereafter. Everybody got volunteer shirts, and it was just a very successful production that we continue to grow. Next. This here is a project in the city of Hemet that is under review still. We started with about 8 townhomes, and then due to variance and whatnot, engineering stuff, we were only able to look at a total of 6 townhomes. So this is a project right now that is finalizing its permit requirements, if I may say. But it is a project that will come to light. And our goal for this project, once we have our approved set of plans, is I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's other spaces that I'm involved in, but the Home Key Plus is about to come out. And this is part of our future funding application, but already under contract. So, yes. And the final takeaways, let's see here. Forgive me, I don't think I updated this slide here. It's okay, you can go. But our numbers will definitely show once they're produced, and we'll continue to use the data to move forward. But we just plan to continue to be in this space and other spaces and be a supporting organization, taking everyone into account. Next. This in 2023, actually, we've actually made the news every year since our Day of the Dead. But this last ad that came out, it came out like a week before our Day of the Dead, so maybe the Friday before November 1st this year. And the link is here. They did a really nice trifold, full story on who we are, how it got started or why it got started. And I definitely would like to encourage our, YAB family to, to take a chance on us and just read a little bit about, who we are and maybe get a better understanding of how we service our community. Next. One of the things that I'm very, very proud of, a lot of meetings, a lot of, time dedication, just, being available and input and just watching the youth thrive in this particular project here, being part of this assessment here, I think has got to be one of my personal highlights of my career. And I started a very long time ago. But this particular assessment here, I think kind of really put a stamp on what I like to refer to as the legacy. I want my grandchildren and my grandchildren's children one day to say, my Nana was involved in this, project, and where we lead our youth today in our space with the organization. I really see that happening, the youth and being on this committee in particular is very intimate to what the future has to offer, especially with the way the housing industry has changed and how complex it's gotten. Just 2 nights ago, we received a call, and the call came in from Larry Butler. I got the call. I had to call Mike from CityNet, and Mike had to call his wife, Trish from Shelter Pathways. And between all of us, we saved a family. We saved a family that had an 18-day-old baby in the car. So, it's those type of, I want to say results when we work together. This was a young family. We're talking a 20-year-old mom, with 3 kids in the car, homeless with the 18-day-old baby. But again, having the flexibility of being connected with our community, we're able to get that family to safety. So yeah, next. And I think that's it. I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys. But I definitely wanted to be transparent and what we have and what we're doing and how can we help you. And yeah, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia. Yeah, are there any
Yeah.
questions?
No? Okay.
That's amazing, Sonia. Thank you for everything you do. You're a great partner.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, and for those in person, if you have Microsoft Teams, when you get back to your computer, take a check online. They're sharing a test strip, a place where you can get test strips for fentanyl and xylazine, and Narcan that you can request to keep on site. So if anybody's interested in that, or maybe Gershom can email that out. So.
Well, again, thank you. We're going to move into the next item on the agenda is the call for any agenda items for our next meeting. If there's anybody here who wants to share anything and have it added to our agenda or online, we welcome it. No, nothing going? Okay, good deal. Then the next one here, item number 8 is on the announcements. I do have an announcement, so I'm definitely going to share. And I think there's other ones in the room, so I'll open it up to Gershom. No? Okay.
You can go
I'll
first,
take
Greg.
it. At California Family Life Center, every year we host what's called a giving tree. So we go out to our local businesses, and when I say local, here in Riverside, out in the desert, Jemez San Jacinto, Temecula, Murrieta, Lake Elsinore, everywhere that we're at, everywhere that we touch, we go out into the community and we ask our partners to allow us to put a Christmas tree up and a return box. And then we load the tree up with wishes from the youth that we serve. And when I say youth, from infants all the way up to, the 18-year-olds. And give some of these young people the opportunity to actually receive a Christmas gift. No questions asked, anything like that. So we put these cards out and these boxes out. We launched it on Friday, and it will be out in the community up until December 13th, Friday. And we go back and collect all these. It's an opportunity for us to give back to the people that we're servicing, the families that we're servicing, as well as the community. I know Savannah asked about like an opportunity to like do some volunteer type stuff like that. But we have this massive wrapping party, which is going to be on the 17th of December, Tuesday. And that's where we get a lot of volunteers. We'll usually have a couple hundred people in the center on that night where we have sorted out and kind of labeled off all the gifts that are going to be given out, and we wrap them personally. We wrap all of them. And then they get distributed out to those families that are out there. So again, if you know or want to talk to the folks on the council about that event on the 17th, that would be great. But if you're out in the community, like I said, if you're in a Starbucks and you see our box or you see our tree, if you're in a dentist's office, medical office, because we got them all over the place, feel free to grab one of those wish lists that are on there. So that's the announcement that I have. So Gershom.
Awesome, Greg. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. We'll be sure to relay that information over to our YAB members later on today. And that's amazing. I wish that I could volunteer for that, but my wrapping skills aren't that great. So maybe I can still participate and just learn how to wrap a lot better. But thank you, Greg. So hello everyone. So for those of you who who could not make it out to the COC meeting yesterday, I did make an announcement for the longest night of the year. So on behalf of the Continuum of Care, we would like to extend our invitation for you folks to attend It is scheduled to take place on Thursday, December 19th at 5 p.m. and it will take place at Fairmount Park in Riverside. So, we really invite you to join us on this night to commemorate the lives of those who were lost while experiencing homelessness out on the street. Um, and I understand that this is a very sensitive subject, and it may not be like some of the other events that we are used to attending, but I think that it is really awesome to see everyone just kind of come together and just create a beautiful atmosphere to just commemorate the lives, right, and to honor those. So like I said, it is open to the community. So we really, encourage you to bring along your family, your friends, your loved ones. And then one of the things that I forgot to mention yesterday as well is that this year we're actually going to have two other locations that are taking place on the same day and same time. So we have another longest night of the year that will take place out in Indio. And then another one, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it might be out in Hemet, and both are going to be hosted by RUHS. And Zuli, I see you on here. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but do we have flyers for those already that we can perhaps share um,
For
uh,
the
for the other two locations for the
for the other
longest night of the year?
locations, we don't have them, but I can ask for them because I
Okay.
believe RUHS would be making them.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, that would be great. And we can get those sent out as soon as possible. Thank you, Zuli. Um,
No
and
problem.
then just another thing too is if you are a service provider who has had any of your clients sadly pass away this year, and if you wish to honor their memory, we invite you to submit their information to our email at toc@rivco.org. And if possible, we also encourage you to share a photo to help us personalize this tribute, since our team is planning on framing like photos and creating a memorial display to celebrate their lives. Once again, it is going to be on Thursday, December 19th, 5 p.m. at Fairmount Park. If you have any questions about this event or wish to receive any additional information, please feel free to inquire at our email. So thank you once again. Taking it back to you, Greg.
Any other announcements here in the room or online? Yes.
Hi everyone, can you hear me okay? Oh, yes. So for those that don't know me, I am Brandy Rodriguez. I am the Community Advocacy Coordinator in the Southern Region with California Youth Connection. And for those that know what that is, it's great. For those that don't, we are a youth-led organization. We work with system-impacted youth between the ages of 14 to 24, and our aim is to transform the child welfare system through policy, legislative, and advocacy change. We're always looking for new members to participate, to become empowered, to step up into our spaces and become leaders in those spaces. So if you're interested, definitely please send me an email. I'll ask Grisham shortly to drop it in the chat. I believe I might have I have flyers here, but I don't know if I shared them online. I'm not there right now, but Grisham might have, I don't know. But we can share those later. Anyways, the point of that was that we are starting the new year. We are going to get ready to attend our yearly Day at the Capitol Conference, which will be held in Sacramento, March 8th, I believe. Like I said, we're always looking for new members to attend those spaces, and especially in that space because we will have the opportunity to talk to legislators. So we will be in a 3-4 day conference in Sacramento, and we're also always looking for donations. So if you are an organization that is willing to donate and support some youth to attend that conference, also please go ahead and follow us on social media. We are in the middle of our Giving Tuesday. So if you would like to donate and support some of our youth to attend those spaces, please do. And if you are a youth that is interested in attending those spaces, please reach out and start signing up. Again, starting the new year, we're looking for a lot of our youth to fill those spaces and really step up and speak up on things that are happening locally and statewide so that we can start trying to advocate for change in our society, right? In our cities. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll tell you guys my email a little slowly, but it is Brandy R. So BRANDYR at CalYouthCon, CALYOUTHCONN.org. Or you can feel free to call me or text me at 760-561-2846. Thank you. Yeah.
If a youth is interested in participating in the CYC, what does that commitment look like?
So it is very simple commitment. You just have to send me $100. I'm just totally kidding. No, it's absolutely free for the youth, obviously, but we do ask that they participate in our online meetings. We usually have just Zoom meetings at the moment. We are trying to get a lot of youth involved in spaces so that we can eventually host in-person meetings like this and hold chapter meetings to really talk about the local issues in their specific county. So we had a lot of youth in Riverside County that we could come together and speak on those specific issues, and we could try to make local change. But right now we're hosting meetings online, and I will actually be having a chapter meeting on Zoom tonight at 4:30. So if any of you are free, or you want to hop on there, we have our link on the link tree, which is on this little QR code here at the top of your paper. Or you can go on our website online. We do have an Instagram at CalYouthCon. And I'll be sure to we will make sure to post our link on there as well. But there's really a smaller commitment to that, just to show up in those spaces. We're really trying to lean on youth development and encourage the youth to, again, step up in those spaces and become leaders, encourage them to really take on those roles, take notes, become chairs of their chapter, so that they can really develop them. But that's really mostly the commitment, is just to make sure that they really step into those spaces and really make their voice heard in those spaces. Is really what we want. And obviously when we have larger spaces like the conferences or the in-person meetings, we ask that they participate those as well. They're not supposed to, they're not they don't have to do it, but we encourage them to go into those spaces. Again, all of our sport cannot happen without the youth voice. So we really want them in those spaces. We really want to hear them.
And how often are the Zoom meetings?
We have them twice a month. So we have them the first and the third Thursdays at 4:30 for the SoCal region on Zoom. So for now on Zoom, but again, my hope is that we have enough youth participate in these spaces so that we can eventually move into in-person spaces at least once a month for now, but so that we can go into those spaces. Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay.
Can I just go back and add one more thing to the announcement that I made? I believe last month, multiple agencies across the county received sweater donations. And so I did also forget to mention that we will be handing those out at the longest night of the year events for any members of the communities that we may come across and are requesting services. We will be gifting them some of those sweaters. So if you or your agency received any of those and wish to participate at either of our locations, please feel free to do so. And Zuli and I will work together to identify the point of contacts for the other locations across the county. So thank you.
Those are the pina colada colored ones, right? Yeah, I've got a few boxes of them. So. No, it's a blessing. Anytime that you can get anything donated like that can be reused back into the community, especially when they're free. Who's going to turn that down, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Any other announcements out there? Anybody online?
I got a story.
Yep.
I got a quick story about those sweatshirts. So we were very fortunate. I think we got like 3 or 4 boxes, and there was quite a few of them. We got all the youth sizes. So what we did for our Day of the Dead event, we put our little logo on the front, and we did we labeled the Day of the Dead events, and we ended up handing them out at the Day of the Day event because there was little kids that were all cold, so we just started giving them all away. And so half of our community that came to our event has sweatshirts, and it was all because of that donation. So thank you guys. And then my daughter, she's with the Saboba team. And she came to my office. She's like, "Oh, I have a donation." And when she brought me the donation, it was a white box and it was a bunch of white hoodies this time. And those are the ones we've been handing out here in the last, week or so to our unhoused community in our backyard. So yeah, thanks for that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for everybody to continue to get blessed. Any other announcements out there? All right, well, then I'm going to move for this meeting to be adjourned. I want to thank everybody that was here today, live, as well as those that were online with us. Thank you very much. You all have a good week, a good month, a happy holiday.